5.
Hey, your signal's pretty good there, Jimmy.
Okay, sounds good. Go and get everything ready to set up, and I'll start the net exactly at 8 o'clock.
Okay, there, Jimmy. Yeah, we're all set up and live streaming.
Okay, Mike, sounds good. Thanks. K9GCR be clear. To all stations, we will be calling the Friday Night Fun Net in exactly 9 minutes. We'll be holding it on this repeater. So, K9GCR be clear. They'll be standing by for the net. You know what time it is? It's Friday Night Fun Net time. It's Friday Night Fun Net time. It's Friday Night Fun Net time. Good evening, everybody. It's 8 o'clock. And welcome to the Friday Night Fun Net on the W9AXD Repeater in Rockford. My name is Jim. My call is K9GCR, and I'll be your host this evening. The purpose of having this net is what the name implies, to have fun. This is what this hobby of Rams radio is all about, in addition to providing emergency communications when the situation warrants. A secondary purpose of this net is providing on-air being placed for all amateur radio operators. Everybody is welcome to check in. You do not have to be a member of any club, organization, group, or association to participate in this net. All you need is a valid FCC license. This net meets each and every Friday evening at 8 p.m. We are an independent net, and we are an informal net. There. Everybody's welcome to check in. And again, you do not have to be a member of any ham radio club, organization, group, or association to participate in this net. All you need is a valid FCC license. This net meets every Friday evening at 8 p.m. This repeater is a PL 114.8 minus offset, I should say. You need to have that programmed into your radio in order to have access to the repeater. For those of you who may be using older radios that do not have PL capability, or the PL in your radio is not working properly, you can check into the Friday Night Fun Net by using the repeater output frequency of the straight 610 simplex. If I hear you, I will announce you and check you into the net. Also, my K9MED down in Rochelle is live streaming this net on the internet. It's being heard around the world. Those of you who wish to check in via the internet, go ahead with check in with Mike, and he will relay your internet check-in to me via the radio. Also, if you're out in the sticks, if you can hear the repeater but you can't get to it due to conditions, or else you're too far away from it, or you don't have internet access, just give me a call on the Friday Night Fun Net Central Hotline. Area code 815-232-FNFN, 232-3636. It's a local Freeport number. I'll take your check-in over the phone, but try to check in on the radio if at all possible. Also, around N2RON in South Boyd, it's got Echolink connected. Those of you who are listening to Echolink, well, check in via the Echolink. I have to remember to not to key up so quickly so I can get your check-in. Okay, I hope you like the way I open up the net. I'd say this is what I did last week. It was on the order of the old Howdy Doody show. That was a kid show way back in the 50s. Howdy Doody, Buffalo Bob, Clarabelle the Clown, and what have you. I thought I'd open it that way. So, okay, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to take short time on MOA stations. If you have family considerations, if you can't stay over the net, you'd rather concentrate your driving, we'll take your short time on mobile check-in. Also, if you have traffic, we'll do your traffic right away. After that, we'll take general check-ins. First, we'll take general check-ins from northern Illinois. Next, we'll take general check-ins from southern Wisconsin. After that, we'll take general check-ins from anywhere northern Illinois or southern Wisconsin. When you check in the net, state whether or not you have traffic. Your traffic consists of breakfast, hamfest, bike rides, or marathon. Okay, we'll do our regular features. We'll do the W9UIJ Carl's Corner. This is our TechNet portion. This is in honor of our late great friend and colleague, Carl Larson, W9UIJ. He used to do a couple of TechNets back several years ago on different area repeaters. He used to use stuff, read stuff from different ham radio publications about theory, propagation, and electrical principles. If you have any technical questions, please feel free to ask them, and we'll do our best to try to answer for you. What kind of an antenna do you want to put up on your tower? Are you having a problem with your power supply or amplifier? Or what kind of a radio should I get? Mobile, base, all motor, or what? You have technical questions, please feel free to ask them. We'll do our best to try to answer them for you. Also, we'll do our W9 Gene Duncan DX Corner in honor of our late great friend and colleague Gene Duncan, W9GD, the king of DX. Every time you checked in his net, you always had a DX report to pass along. Then we'll have our swap net segment. You have any items to buy, sell, or trade or want related to hobbies, rapture, radio, or computers? Go ahead, please feel free to advertise your product, and we'll do our best to try to sell them for you. Then we'll do our for Friday Night Fun, that's a trivia segment. This is really for the benefit of the new hams who are listening on the scanner, potential new hams, I should say, or studying for their first ham radio licenses. So, okay, the round table tonight. In keeping last week, as you know, we asked everybody what their favorite German food was. Tonight, we're going to ask everybody what your favorite beer is. Hams, Schlitz, Budweiser, Pabst Blue Ribbons, Falstaff, Fox Brand, or any of the local breweries around here. It's going to be a fun net tonight. Okay, with all the so-called formalities out of the way, let's get underway. Do we have any short-time mobile stations you'd like to check in? Please call now.
K9RFD Bob here in Freeport, Jimmy, about a mile west of you.
Alpha 9 Victor Uniform. Michael in Janesville. No traffic.
November 9, Golf Bravo Papa, Greg in Rockford.
Time, no traffic.
Okay, stations that stand by. We got N9CXK, Bob about a mile west of me. We got you checked in. Bob, you heard the news. You know that Bruce Sutter passed away, didn't you?
Jimmy, I read about that earlier today. Great reliever for the Cubs, Cardinals, and a short time with the Braves.
Yes, he was. 69 years old. He will surely be missed. Okay, Bob, thanks for checking in. Short time, Southern. You have a good evening. 889VU, Mike in Janesville. I've got you checked in. Mike Southern, you have a good evening. Thanks for checking in. N9GBP, Greg and Robert have got you checked in. Short time, Southern. You have a good evening, too. Thanks you for checking in. Do we have any more short time mobile stations who'd like to check in? Please call now.
AC9NW, Tom and Roscoe. Short time, no traffic.
Valley. I'm going to be in and out tonight, okay? Thanks. Have a good evening.
Okay, AC9NW, Tom and Roscoe, I've got you checked in. Short time. Southern, have a good evening. Gordy, KC9NEX, was that you trying to check in? If so, thanks for checking in. Southern, have a good evening.
Yes, Jim, that was me. I said I was going to be short time, in and out. 7-3.
Okay, Gordy, thanks for checking in. 7-3, have a good evening. Maybe we'll catch you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock on the Saturday evening rag tune net on this repeater with Larry, K9KZT. Thanks for checking in, Gordy. Any more short-time mobile stations for the Friday Night Fun net? Please call now.
K9KZT, going out for dinner.
Okay, how did you like the way I introduced, I started the net there tonight, Larry?
I feel like I'm in the peanut gallery.
Okay, hey, enjoy your dinner. I don't know what you're having, whatever it is, I hope it's good. Thanks for checking in. Have a good evening. We'll talk to you tomorrow night on the rag tune net. Thanks for checking. Any more short time or mobile stations for the Friday Night Fun net? Please call now. Okay, we got 6 short-time stations. I think we had that many last week. So, okay, let's go with the general check-ins. First, I'll take general check-ins from Northern Illinois for the Friday Night Fun net. Please go now.
KD9HKX, Larry and Roscoe.
KD9HKX, Larry and Roscoe. I've got you checked in, and Larry will get back to you a few minutes around table. Thanks for checking in. Any more general check-ins from Northern Illinois for the Friday Night Fun net? Please go now.
KB9SSV, Mike and Roscoe.
K9MED. All got internet.
Love Spark, we got you checked in there, Mike. I'll get back to you in a few minutes roundtable. Thanks for checking in. Any more general check-ins from Northern Illinois or the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now.
K9MED, Mike and Rochelle. I got an internet.
Okay, I had two stations checking in at the same time. I was not able to copy anybody. Let's try that one more time, please. Okay, are there any more stations from Northern Illinois you'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now.
K9MED, Mike and Rochelle. I've got an internet.
Okay, Mike, go ahead with that check.
Check in, Patrick. Keep finding 9 silver dollars.
You got that right there, Mike. That's what Tony, K9RFD refers to as called there. I got it cute there. Okay, I got him checked in there, Mike. Thanks for doing that. Pat, K9RFD, again, welcome to the Friday Night Fun Net. Okay, thanks. Any more general check-ins from Northern Illinois for the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now.
KD9MED, carrying Rockford.
KD9MED, Carrie and Rockford, we got you checked in. Carrie, we'll get back to you in a few minutes for your the DX report, and then later on for the roundtable. Thanks for checking in. There was another station trying to check in at the same time Carrie was. Other station, come back, please.
KD9, NKT, Toby and Rockford.
KD9FKC, there's a blast from the past, as they used to say on the rock and roll stations top 40 radio many years ago. Okay, Toby, we got you checked in. I'll get back to you in a few minutes roundtable. Thanks for checking in. Any more general check-ins from Northern Illinois for the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Okay, no further check-ins from Northern Illinois. We'll probably get some more later on during the day. Let's see if we can pick up anybody from southern Wisconsin. Any stations in southern Wisconsin would like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net. Please go now.
KC9RGG, Norm in Orfordville, Wisconsin.
Kilo Charlie 9, Alpha Golf, Romeo, Jennifer, and Jameson.
Okay, I've got two stations that checked in from Rock County. Let's see. K9RGG, Norman, Orfordville, I got you checked in. I'll get back to you in a few minutes roundtable. Thanks for checking in. KC9AGR, Jennifer, the new EC in Rock County, I've got you checked in. We'll get back to you in a few minutes for the roundtable also. Thanks for checking in. Any more general check-ins in southern Wisconsin would like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Okay, well, it's Friday Night Fish, Friday night in Wisconsin. Everybody's at their favorite bar, restaurant, tavern, eating their catfish, buffalo, carp, northern pike, walleye, muskie, crappies. Those of you in the Milwaukee area, you're eating your Polish sausages, hot dogs, brats, kielbasa, or Braunschweiger, and keeping with Oktoberfest. And of course, those of you cheese lovers are eating some of that famous Wisconsin cheese. Okay, at this time, do we have any check-ins from anywhere in northern Illinois or southern Wisconsin who would like to check into the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Okay, I have no traffic to pass along. Does anybody have any traffic that you'd like to pass along for the net? Please go ahead. Okay, let's get down to business. Let's go ahead with the W9UIJ Carl's Corner. This is our TechNet segment in honor of our late great friend and colleague Carl Larson. W9UIJ used to host a couple of TechNets several years ago on the area repeaters. He used to read stuff from different ham radio publications about the propagation, electrical principles, theory, and what have you. Does anybody, what kind of an antenna do you want to put up in your tower? What kind of, are you having a problem with your power supply or amplifier? What kind of a radio should you get? Base, mobile, all mode, or what have you? This is where if anybody has any technical questions, please feel free to ask them, and we'll do our best to answer for you. Does anybody have any technical questions they'd like to bring before the next? Okay, well, there being no technical questions, we'll move on to the W9 Gene Duncan DX Corner. In honor of our late great friend and colleague, Gene Duncan, W9GD, the king of DX. Every time you checked in his net, you always had a DX report to pass along. Does anybody have any DX reports that they'd like to bring before the net? Please go ahead.
KD9SSV.
K9SSV. Okay, Mike, what do you got for us?
Let's see, 10 and 12 was doing pretty good. Last few days got out to Eastern Europe, Slovenia and Bulgaria and all them places. But one of the best contacts I made one out in New Zealand. I was on 10 meters. That was ZL1 W9. And made 2 contacts out in Japan. That's like 8,300 miles away, so that was pretty good. Those are both on 10 meters. The J81 and the 704. And yeah, those are the best ones, the Japanese ones. All the other ones are like South American ones and Europe, which I call like semi-DX, because it's not really. I got a chart for DX, like 4 different versions, but well, that's another story I'll tell you about. But anyways, the Japanese ones, 8,300 miles. That was really good. I was glad to get to them, get over all the 7 and 6 calls. Some guys usually hog it up. Back to you, Jimmy.
Okay, sounds good. You talk to the station in Slovenia. Do you talk to those family of ham radio operators? I believe it's Jacek, Sierra 5 or 1DX or whatever. Do you talk to those stations?
Let's see. What did I get here? Oh, S51DX. He's a popular guy out there. He's from Slovenia. S51DX. He's always on there when the conditions are good. He's that guy I usually talk to all the time. I got some more here, but I have to go cut back through the log and look.
Okay, that's fine. That's don't I got all that I need there. Thank you very much for that. I've talked to those Slovenian stations about 2 or 3 times. Even got written down in the log, my logbook here. So that's great. Okay, Mike. Thanks for your DX report, and we'll get back to you a few minutes around there. Thanks for checking in. Does any other station have any DX reports you'd like to pass along? KD9MED, Carrie, do you have any DX reports you'd like to pass along?
This is KD9MED. Thank you, Jimmy. Good evening, everybody. No, Jimmy, not really. I've been slacking off. I got I got on HF twice this week. I made 25 contacts, but they were all right here in the continental United States. The big one that got away this week was this morning, V51LZ in Namibia, on 10 meters. I could hear him, but he couldn't hear me. Brief reset. The most distant VHF station I heard this week was the Clinton Community School District in Clinton, Wisconsin, WQJT 396. One of the kids fell off a horse and the horse ran away. One of the strangest things I've heard on VHF so far. KD9MED.
Okay, sounds good. You must that must be their frequency in which the school buses operate there. Here in Freeport, I monitor every day during the school year. I monitor. Let's see. I'm trying to think. It's a 463.8125. That's right. That's a Freeport School District frequency. I listen to them. I always monitor the school bus traffic there, especially shortly around 2 o'clock. That's when the buses at schools start getting out. The junior high and high school get out about 2:30, and then the grade schools get out, I think, about a half hour to an hour later. So I listen to them too. So, okay. Well, thanks for your your DX report, and thank you very much. We accept all DX reports, regardless of whether you listen to UHF, VHF, HF, or what have you. So, okay, sounds good. Thanks, Kerry. Any other stations have any DX reports I'd like to pass along? Okay, now I will give my DX report. Just a minute. Hold on. Okay, last Saturday afternoon. I think it was during the 2 or 3 o'clock hour. It was the Pennsylvania QSO party. I made 4 contacts with stations in Pennsylvania. The first one was on 14.250. Kilo Mike 3 the Papa. He was giving me I was giving him 5.9. He was giving me 8.0. The next following station that was on this was at 2006. About 25 minutes later at 2007, I was made a contact with Whiskey Kilo 2 Golf on 14.254 megahertz. I was giving him 5.9 and he was giving me 8.0. Then at 8 minutes later, I made a contact with Kilo Quebec 3 the Foxtrot on 14.269. I was giving him 5.9, he was giving me 7.0. And last contact was about 11 minutes later on 14.272 megahertz. Whiskey 3 Whiskey 3 S0. I was giving him 5.9, he was giving me 8.0. So those are my 4 contacts I made with Pennsylvania on the Pennsylvania QSO party. I believe tomorrow will be the New York QSO party. I'll see how many contacts I can make with them. And oh yeah, the main event this coming Sunday, the Illinois QSO party. That gets underway at 12 noon, and it'll go to 8 p.m. our time. So. I'm going to see how many contacts I can make with here in Illinois, especially maybe I can make a contact with Win, W9MSL. He lives only a few blocks west questions south of me. I made contact with him last year, too, so. Those are your QSO parties for this weekend. Enjoy. Okay, before we wrap up this segment, are there any more? Does anybody else have any DX reports they'd like to pass along? Okay, later on during the net, I will read the DX code of contact, DX code of conduct, I should say, and the contester's code of ethics. They haven't done that in a while. Okay, before we continue on, do we have any more stations who'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now.
N9CNW, November 9, Chicago Northwestern, no traffic, Mark in Rockford.
N9CNW, Mark in Rockford. Okay, Mark, I'll get back to you a few minutes around. Well, thanks for checking in. Any more stations want to check in? Please call now. Okay, let's go ahead with the SWAT net. All items to be bought, sold, or traded must be related to hobbies of ramp trade or computers. All items to be bought, sold, or traded must be the property of or in possession of the person who wants to get rid of stuff. May mention the price over the air, but any handling should take place either in person or over the telephone. Also, no commercial business of any kind is allowed. Does anybody have any SWAT net traffic at this time? Please go ahead. Okay, no SWAT net traffic at this time, so we'll just move on. So trying to get all my stuff organized, trying to get some of my papers put back in my desk drawer here. So okay, let's go now. And keep with the Oktoberfest theme, I'm asking everybody, what is your favorite beer that you like to drink? Your local brews or Budweiser, Schlitz Hams, or Foxbrand, Falstaff, or what have you. Pabst. Let's start off with the K9HKX. Larry, what kind of beer do you like to drink?
KC9GCR, KD9HKX. Good evening, Jim, and everyone on the net tonight. Well, I'll tell you, I don't drink anymore. Haven't for 30, 40 years. But way, way back when, I liked Foster's Lager, Australian beer that had a little more kick to it than American beer. But it was pretty smooth, and I really enjoyed it. So with that, Jim, I'll turn back to you. KC9GCR, KD9HKX.
Okay, sounds good there, Larry. Okay, well, thanks for your input, and thanks for checking in. We'll probably hear from you later on. KD9SSV, Mike, what kind of beer do you drink, or what beer did you drink back in the day?
Well, let's see, I like them all. I used to like them all. Since I retired, I don't drink that much. Maybe have one after 1 or 2 or 3 after hard days of cutting the grass or something. But favorites was always Corona. It's not too many people like because it smells like a skunk when you open it. Heineken, which is mediocre beer for most people. Guinness, I like Guinness, but a lot of people don't like that because it's too heavy. And another German beer called Spaten. And it tastes better than what it sounds. It's called Spaten. But anyways, back in the day, it was on the dart team in Olsen. The only thing they had to drink was old style. So you had to have old style when you were playing darts back then. So, yeah, basically just about drank every kind of beer there was, probably. And with that, we'll go back to Jimmy KC9GCR. This is KD9SSB.
Okay, sounds good. But old style, beer brewed in God's country. G. Heilman Brewing Company of La Crosse, Wisconsin. I don't think they make that beer anymore. That was a long-time sponsor of Cubs baseball for many years. You listen to Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau and talk about old style. On the radio, they advertised old style, and on the TV, they advertised Budweiser. And that's a St. Louis beer. Okay, sounds good, Mike. Thanks for checking in and contributing to the roundtable. Terry, KD9MED. What kind of beer do you drink, or maybe I should say, what kind of beer did you drink back in the day?
Hey, Jamie, that's Mike. I think, anyways, beer. Well, I don't drink beer. I haven't for a while, but well, just about any kind. Sapporo, Japanese beer, Foster's Lager, Hefeweizen, any of those. Drink many kinds of beer. Loved them all.
Okay, Mike, sounds good. Thanks. Let me know if you have any more internet check-ins. Okay, sounds good. Okay, now, Terry, KD9MED. What kind of beer do you drink, or what kind of beer did you drink back in the day?
This is KD9MED. It's been 13 years, but if I was going to go back to it, I'd go to my favorite, Heineken. As cold as you can get it, bitter and skunky. That stuff is so good. Yeah, that's about it. KD9MED.
Okay, Terry, sounds good. Okay, thanks. Okay, Matt, KD9FKC. Toby, I should say. Toby, I'm sorry. K9FKC, what kind of beer do you drink, or what kind of beer did you drink back in the day?
KD9NKC. Well, I still enjoy a nice Coors Banquet every now and then, but as far as local breweries go, the Carlisle here in Rockford used to have a really nice vanilla pale ale.
Okay, sounds good. That Prairie State Brew House, or whatever it is, that old building on the Rock River. Did they still brew beer in that building today?
They sure do. They put on some pretty nice beers there as well.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, Toby, thanks. I already got your name mixed up there, but okay, thanks for checking in. Norm, KC9RGG Norbertville. Okay, what kind of beer do you drink now, or what did you drink back in the day?
KC9GCR, KC9RGG. I love a good spotted cow now. I think that's about the best beer around. And back in the day, oh golly, this goes way back, I used to drink something called Cold Spring. It cost $3.05 for a case of 24 bottles returnable. And I could afford that. It was cheaper than Coca-Cola. So that's what I bought. KC9GCR, KC9RGG, back to net.
This is KC9GCR with the Friday Night Fun Net of the W9AXD Repeater in Rockford, transmitting for Friday Night Fun Net Central and Freeport. Okay, sounds good, Norm. Thanks for checking in there. So, okay. I better let you go so you can hit the sack there. Thanks for participating in the net there tonight. Okay, KC9AGR, Jennifer in Rock County. What's going on with you? What kind of beer do you drink, or what kind of beer did you drink back in the day?
Well, I'm not a beer drinker. I don't like the taste, but when I have tried to drink beer, I like the Bud Light or Miller Genuine Draft. I think the worst beer ever is Old Style and Milwaukee, but I don't know, I just don't really like the taste of beer. K9RFD Repeater.
That's for sure. We used to rent a cabin and some trailers from the landlord down who lives between Savannah and Thompson. He would always drink Old Milwaukee. he would not drink any other beer but that. That was something else. Jennifer, thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend. We'll definitely check into the Rock County Net this coming Tuesday night. Okay. Mark, N9CNW, what's going on with you? What kind of beer do you drink, or what did you drink back in the day?
CNW in the group. Everybody have a good evening, I hope. My favorite beer, and they don't make it anymore, they quit making it a long time ago, was Andecker. It was like a premium beer of Pabst. And man, that stuff was good. It had a unique taste to it, and it was smooth as could be. But they tried to make it again, but they changed the formula on it, and it's not good. So that's back in the day. I don't drink beer anymore, so that was my favorite back those days. N9CNW.
Okay, sounds good there. Sounds good there, Mark. Okay, now I've got a couple of Halloween radio nut jokes. So this one's courtesy of Brad, W0S, and myself, K9GCR. But here it goes. You know you are a radio nut when, instead of taking your kids trick-or-treating door to door, you take them into your ham shack and go trick-or-treating net to net and frequency to frequency. And here's another one from Brad. You know you're a radio nut when, instead of counting the amount of candy you collected on Halloween night, you count out the amount of check-ins on a net. And here's the one from Rod, NA9Net, up around New Glarus, Wisconsin. You know you are a radio nut when you dress up your 5-year-old as Marconi to go trick-or-treating. Mark, how'd you like those jokes?
N9CNW, those are pretty good. I remember the next door neighbor, we used to take our kids out. Between the two of us, we had 5 or 6 kids, and we'd go out with the kids, and we'd grab a can of beer and just walk along the sidewalk with them while they got candies and goodies. We had a beer while we walked up and down the block.
Sounds good. By the way, in exactly 2 weeks, that will be, let's see, on October 28th, we're going to have our annual Halloween edition of the Friday Night Fun Net. We're going to ask everybody whether they're going out for trick-or-treating, what are your favorite memories of the holiday. But that's what we'll be talking about not next Friday, but the Friday night after that, on the 28th. Now, I'll read all my Halloween radio nut jokes. It's going to be definitely a fun time. So, okay, well, Mark, thank you for checking in, and I'm sure we'll probably hear from you later on. That concludes my list. Are there any more stations you'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please go now. All right. Before I forget it, we're going to do in honor of our New York QSO party tomorrow. Tomorrow, and the Illinois QSO party is coming Sunday. This Sunday I'm going to read the DX Code of Conduct and the Contester's Code of Ethics. Okay. DX Code of Conduct. 1. I will listen and then listen again before calling. 2. I will only call if I can copy the DX station properly. 3. I will not trust the DX cluster and will be sure of the DX station's call sign before calling. 4. I will not interfere with the DX station nor anyone calling and will never tune up on the DX frequency or in the QSX slot. 5. I will wait for the DX station to end the contact before I call. 6. I will always send my full call sign. 7. I will call and then listen for a reasonable interval. I will not call continuously. 8. I will not transmit when the DX operator calls another call sign, not mine. 9. I will not transmit when the DX operator queries a call sign, not like mine. 10. I will not transmit when the DX station requests geographic areas other than mine. 11. When the DX operator calls me, I will not repeat my call sign unless I think he has copied it incorrectly. 12. I will be thankful even when I do make a contact. And 13. I will respect my fellow hams and conduct myself so as to earn their respect. And number 14, this was added, but this is at the suggestion of Kerry, K9MED. Number 14, I will send a QSL card to the DX operator to confirm my contact with the station. That's the DX Code of Conduct. Now, I will read the contester's Code of Ethics. 1. I will learn and obey the rules of any contest I enter, including the rules of my entry category. 2. I will obey the rules for amateur radio in my country. 3. I will not modify my log after the contest by using additional data sources to correct call signs / exchange errors. 4. I will accept the judging and scoring decisions of the contest sponsor as final. 5. I will adhere to the DX Code of Conduct in my operating style. 6. I will yield my frequency to any emergency communications activity. And number 7, I will operate my transmitter with sufficient signal quality to minimize interference to others. That's the contester's Code of Ethics. But I'll tell you what Rick at K9QDP says, and I think he may be right. If everybody observed the DX Code of Contact and the contester's Code of Ethics, and nobody would make any contact. In a way, he's right on that one. Okay. Okay, well, the amateur's code, we'll do that later on before the end of the net there. Any more stations would like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net this time? Please call now. This is K9GCR with the Friday Night Fun Net on the W9AXD Repeater in Rockford, transferring for Friday Night Fun Net Central and Freeport. Are there any more stations who want to check in? Please call now. Okay. I was crazy about that. I never drank beer. I was never crazy about the taste. A couple times I had it, and no good. I'll tell you what, back to New Year's Eve, 1961, New Year's Day, 1962. I was 13. I was about to turn 14 years old. My younger sister was going out with her boyfriend at the time. He brought some of that near beer. I'll tell you what, I had a taste of it. Oh, God, that tasted terrible. My mother asked me, how did you like your first beer? I said, I didn't like it at all. Well, that is a true story. It really did happen. But, but you know, watching I get a kick out of those beer commercials they had. Like, I can't even talk. If you're of a certain age, I'm sure you remember the old Ham's beer commercial. But the Ham's bear, as it turned out, her name was Sasha. But from the land of sky blue waters, from the land of pines, malts, and the balsams comes the beer refreshing. Ham's the beer refreshing. Boom, 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 boom. You remember that commercial. And Falstaff beer. Back in the 50s, CBS TV used to do the game of the week. There was a baseball game of the week with Dizzy Dean and Pee Wee Reese. That was their advertising. Falstaff beer. That's the old ball game, partner. That's what old Dizzy used to say. I think it was in the early mid-90s or something like that, the Budweiser Clydesdales and the Hitch came to Freeport. I don't know what kind of a promotion they had there, but I got to see that. You seen those old Budweiser commercials with the Budweiser Clydesdales and the Hitch and the two guys sitting up there, the one with the rain, and there was a Dalmatian dog sitting right in the middle. You remember those old commercials? Oh yeah. Okay, at this time, any more stations would like to check into the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Oh, back in the early, the mid-1950s, the Friday Night Fights, or like the Blue Ribbon Bouts, they were sponsored by Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer. That was every Friday night you see the fights on TV. That's for sure. Well, this isn't the Friday Night Fights. This is the Friday Night Fun Net. Any more stations want to check in? Please call now. Well, I got my clip, but no audio. You want to try that one more time, please? Okay, now we're going to go ahead with the Friday Night Fun Net Trivia. This is for the benefit of those people who are want to become hams, studying for their first ham radio licenses. I don't know when the next VE testing sessions will be held around here, but hopefully they'll be held soon. I think I'm thinking about maybe next Friday night. I think I'm going to do a survey. Would anybody be interested in starting up VE testing sessions again? But I think that's what we'll do. I think it's time to get back to normal. So all right, and let me reset. We have people who listen to this net or any other nets because they can't listen to police communications anymore unless they have a very expensive digital scanner. And, of course, you can still monitor fire and EMS communication on VHF, the high band, analog high band. And then, of course, we have people who are studying for their first ham radio license. So, okay, let's see. Okay, here's the first question. These questions are from the new Tech Q&A book, which I bought at the CFMG Hamfest. The first question: which of the following is a characteristic of good traffic handling? A. Passing messages exactly as received. B. Making decisions as to whether messages are worthy of relay or delivery. C. Ensuring that any newsworthy messages are relayed to the news media. D. All of these choices are correct. Which of the following is a characteristic of good traffic handling? A. Passing messages exactly as received. B. Making decisions as to whether messages are worthy of relay or delivery. C. Ensuring that any newsworthy messages are relayed to the news media. D. All of these choices are correct. Anybody correct to answer this question?
KD9HKX.
Go ahead, Larry.
A Alpha.
You are correct, Larry. You are correct. Which of the following is a characteristic of good traffic handling? Correct answer is A Alpha, passing messages exactly as received. The most important job for traffic handlers during emergency and disaster net operations is the ability to accurately relay or pass messages exactly as written, spoken, or received. Ham Radio License Manual, page 6-17. Okay. What is the formula for converting frequency to approximate wavelength in meters? A. Wavelength in meters equals frequency in hertz multiplied by 300. B. Wavelength in meters equals frequency in hertz divided by 300. C. Wavelength in meters equals frequency in megahertz divided by 300. D. Wavelength in meters equals 300 divided by frequency in megahertz. What is the formula for converting frequency to approximate wavelength in meters? A. Wavelength in meters equals frequency in hertz multiplied by 300. B. Wavelength in meters equals frequency in hertz divided by 300. C. Wavelength in meters equals frequency in megahertz divided by 300. D. Wavelength in meters equals 300 divided by frequency in megahertz. Anybody correct to answer this question?
KD9MED is going to guess D Delta.
You are correct, Terry. You are correct. What is the formula for converting frequency to approximate wavelength in meters? Correct answer is D Delta. Wavelength in meters equals 300 divided by frequency in megahertz. Those of you who are studying for your first ham radio test, you might want to write down this information, memorize them, and keep it in your head. Don't take your questions, don't take them to the BE testing session whenever that takes place, or you get thrown out in your ear. Okay, let's move on to another question. Okay, which is equal to 1,500,000 hertz? A. 1,500 kilohertz. B. 1,500 megahertz. C. 15 gigahertz. D. 150 kilohertz. Which is equal to 1,500,000 hertz? A. 1,500 kilohertz. B. 1,500 megahertz. C. 15 gigahertz. D. 150 kilohertz. Anybody have correct to answer this question?
KD9MED is going to go with A Alpha. This must be that new book, huh, Jimmy?
This is K9G Shark, Finite Funded, W9AXD Repeater in Rockford. Yes, it is, Gary, and you are correct on the question, on the answer. It is 1,500 kilohertz, which is equal to 1,500,000 hertz. And the correct answer is A Alpha, 1,500 kilohertz. 1,500,000 hertz equals 1,500 kilohertz equals 1.5 megahertz. Ham Radio License Manual, page 2-2. And I'm not even good at math. I never was, even in high school. Okay. This now we're at Chapter T6, the sub-element T6, electronic and electrical components. What type of component is often used as an adjustable volume control? A, fixed resistor. B, power resistor. C, potentiometer. D, transformer. What type of component is often used as an adjustable volume control? A, fixed resistor. B, power resistor. C, potentiometer. D, transformer. Anybody have correct answer to this question?
KD9SSV. I'm going to go with C, Charlie.
K9SSV. You are correct, Mike. You are correct. What type of component is often used as an adjustable volume control? Correct answer, C, Charlie, potentiometer. A variable resistor, often called a potentiometer or pot, is frequently used to adjust the voltage or potential, such as for a volume control. And radio license manual, page 3-8. Okay, find another one. Okay, what are the names for the electrodes of a diode? A, plus and minus. B, source and drain. C, anode and cathode. D, gate and base. What are the names for the electrodes of a diode? A, plus and minus. B, source and drain. C, anode and cathode. D, gate and base. Anybody have correct answer to this question?
KD9HKX, C, Charlie.
You are correct, Larry. You are correct. What are the names for the electrodes of a diode? Correct answer, C, Charlie, anode and cathode. I think I might have read this question before in the old book. Okay, we'll find another one here. All right. I think I read that one. I'm not going to... that was from the old book. I'm not going to read that one again. All right. I don't know how many work that you do the satellite stuff, but I'm not going to... This is some of these newer questions here. All right. What is antenna gain? A, the additional power that is added to the transmitter power. B, the additional power that is required in the antenna when transmitting on a higher frequency. C, the increase in signal strength in a specified direction compared to a reference antenna. D, the increase in impedance on receive or transmit compared to a reference antenna. What is antenna gain? A, the additional power that is added to the transmitter power. B, the additional power that is required in the antenna when transmitting on a higher frequency. C, the increase in signal strength in a specified direction compared to a reference antenna. D, the increase in impedance on receive or transmit compared to a reference antenna. Anybody have correct answer to this question?
KD9HKX, C, Charlie.
You are correct, Larry. You are correct. What is antenna gain? Correct answer, C, Charlie. The increase in signal strength in a specified direction compared to a reference antenna. Concentrating an antenna's radiated signals in a specific direction is called gain. Antenna gain increases signal strength in a specified direction when compared to a reference antenna. Ham radio license manual, page 4-7. Okay. Okay. the purpose of a fuse in an electrical current? A, to prevent power supply ripple from damaging a component. B, to remove power in case of overload. C, to limit current to prevent shocks. D, all of these choices are correct. What is the purpose of a fuse in an electrical circuit? A, to prevent power supply ripple from damaging a component. B, to remove power in case of overload. C, to limit current to prevent shocks. D, all of these choices are correct. Anybody have correct to answer this question?
KD9HKX, B Bravo.
You are correct, or you are correct. What is the purpose of a fuse in an electrical circuit? Correct answer is B Bravo, to remove power in case of overload. When the metal in a fuse melts or blows, the current path is broken and power is removed from circuits supplied by the fuse. Hand read the license manual page 3-12. Okay. Alrighty, let's see. Trying to find one more question here. Okay, one moment, please. I think we are. I read that one. Okay. Okay. We'll find it. We'll find it here. All right. Okay. All right. What are the toughest questions in the tech, general, and extra Q&A? Well, your tower questions, of course. You new hams, you new people out there, once you get your tech license, someday down the road, you're going to be part of a tower climbing expedition. You're either going to be climbing the tower itself, or you're going to be part of a ground support crew. Whenever you take your VE testing session, this question might be the one that puts you over the top as far as getting your ticket. So we'll find it here. All right. Under what circumstances it is safe to climb a tower without a helper or observer? A, when no electrical work is being performed. B, when no mechanical work is being performed. C, when the work being done is not more than 20 feet above the ground. D, never. Under what circumstances it is safe to climb a tower without a helper or observer? A, when no electrical work is being performed. C, when no mechanical work is being performed. C, when the work being done is not more than 20 feet above the ground. D, never. Anybody have a correct answer to this question? Those of you who climb towers should know the correct answer to this one by heart.
KD9HKX, D, Delta, never.
That's right. You are correct, Larry, you are correct. Under what circumstances it is safe to climb a tower without a helper or observer? Correct answer. D, Delta, never. Having a ground crew is important. Avoid climbing alone whenever possible because it's never safe. And read the license manual, page 9-19. All right, okay. One moment, please. I'm going to see if I can find another one.
KC9CFL.
KC9CFL. Good evening, Mike.
Hey, Jimmy, how are you? Just checking into the net. Heard you out there. Figured chime in.
Okay, sounds good. In keeping with Oktoberfest, last week we asked everybody out there what their favorite German food was. Tonight we're asking everybody what your favorite beer was. Budweiser, Schlitz, Hams, a Pabst Blue Ribbon, or Miller, or what?
Well, I have an odd one. My favorite one is Hacker Shore. It's actually really good. Comes in a huge, like a really thin, tall bottle. And so the proper way to pour it is you put your glass on top of it and then flip it over. Pretty neat. But yeah, I'm really not a drinker, so I may have one a year. I think I have a 6-pack of beer in my fridge, or a 5-pack of beer in my fridge right now. It's been there for 6 months, something like that. So.
Okay, Mike, that sounds good. Sounds good. Nothing wrong with that. That's what everybody was saying tonight. I think most people like these foreign beers. So okay, that sounds good. Okay, Mike. Hey, thanks for checking in. You have a good evening.
Not a problem. Thanks for running that, Jimmy. I did want to make a small announcement. I do have a VHF gateway up and running at my home. So if anybody is for WinLink, if anybody's interested in WinLink and how to connect and how to send email over radio, it's a lot of fun. You can do it with an Android phone and a small device, a small TNC device, or you can do it with your laptop and a TNC device or a signal link. So it's a lot of fun. KC9, CFL, I'm out.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions or comments for Mike concerning this gateway equipment, the VHF gateway he's got set up? Okay, sounds good. This net is being recorded on the Friday Night Fun Net Central Facebook page, so I'm sure anybody who's interested in that hears this, so they'll probably be contacting you. So that's okay. Hey, Mike, sounds good. Thank you for checking into the Friday Night Fun Net. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your weekend.
You too, Jimmy. KC9, CFL will be monitoring.
Okay, at this time, any more stations want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net at this time? Please call now.
KC9DDF. Hey, Jimmy, just in and out.
Okay, I won't hold you, John. KC9DDF. You have a good evening. Thanks for checking the Friday Night Fun Net.
Thanks. Oh, good signal from the repeater. I will tell you that. Hey, have a great weekend. Thanks as always, Jim. Jimmy, I'll spend some time here some other time, but not tonight. KC9DDF 73. Good weekend.
You too, John. It's understandable. You got stuff going on. That's the way it goes. So okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. Any more stations want to check in? Please call now. All right. I'm going to do one more, maybe a couple more questions on the trivia segment, and I think we'll kind of that'll kind of call it quits there for as far as the trivia segment goes. I want to find another. I want to find another one here. Let me. Okay. Oh boy, I thought I found it. I'm gonna. These questions I'm reading are from the new Q&A book there. Okay. Here's one. All right. Okay. Well, I'll read this one. In the United States, what circuit does black wire insulation indicate in a 3-wire 120-volt cable? A, neutral. B, hot. C, equipment ground. D, black insulation is never used. In the United States, what circuit does black wire insulation indicate in a 3-wire 120-volt cable? A, neutral. B, hot. C, equipment ground. D, black insulation is never used. Anybody have a correct answer to this question?
KD9SSV. I'm gonna go with the hot one. B. Bravo.
Sorry, Mike, that's not correct. But hey, thanks for trying there. So, okay, don't worry about it. Anybody else want to give it a shot? Okay, I'll read the question and give the correct answer. In the United States, what circuit does black wire insulation indicate in a 3-wire 120-volt cable? Correct answer is C, Charlie. Equipment ground. The U.S. standard is hot. Black wire, occasionally red, in parentheses, neutral, white wire, and safety or equipment ground, green or bare wire. Hammer the license manual page 9-4. Okay. Last question of the evening. What is a good way to guard against electrical shock at your station? A. Use 3-wire cords and plugs for all AC-powered equipment. B. Connect all AC-powered station equipment to a common safety ground. C. Install mechanical interlocks and high-voltage circuits. D. All these choices are correct. What is a good way to guard against electrical shock at your station? A. Use 3-wire cords and the plugs for all AC-powered equipment. B. Connect all AC-powered station equipment to a common safety ground. C. Install mechanical interlocks and high-voltage circuits. D. All these choices are correct. Anybody have correct answer to this question?
KD9HKX. D, they're all correct. Jimmy?
You are correct, Larry. You are correct. What is a good way to guard against electrical shock at your station? Correct answer is, well, let's do that again. What is a good way to guard against electrical shock at your station? A. Use 3-wire cords and plugs for all AC-powered equipment. B. Connect all AC-powered station equipment to a common safety ground. C. Install mechanical interlocks and high-voltage circuits. Well, the correct answer is a D delta. All of these choices are correct. Follow these simple rules in your station. Use 3-wire power cords and plugs for all AC-powered equipment. Make sure all of your equipment has a connection to the AC safety ground. Use ground fault circuit interrupter, GFCI circuit breakers, or circuit breaker outlets. Verify AC wiring is done properly by using an AC circuit tester. Never replace a fuse or a circuit breaker with one of a larger size. Don't overload single outlets. And radio license manual page 9-4. This concludes Friday Night Fun at the trivia for this week. All the questions which were read tonight were from the new ARRL Tech Q&A book. You new hands who are prepared to take your test whenever that takes place, hope you write the information down, memorize them, and keep it in your head. Don't take the answers with you to the VE testing session unless you want to get thrown out in your ear.
Comment.
KD9SSV, get a question.
Did somebody have a comment? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's KD9SSV. That second from the last question you read, I must have misunderstood it because it's a well-known fact that a black wire in a 110-volt circuit is always hot. So I must maybe I must have misunderstood something.
No, I was just going by what the book says. That's that's all there was to it. I was just following what the book said.
Comment.
Somebody had a comment. Go ahead.
Jim, KD9HKX. Mike is correct. The black wire is hot. When you read the comments from the book said the black is hot. But somehow they've got the wrong answer marked.
Oh boy, just all right, just a minute here. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see if I can find that question. There. Oh. Okay. This is T0803. Now, in the United States, what circuit does black wire installation indicate in a 3-wire 120-volt cable? Was that the question?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Well, the book says, I'll tell you what, guys, I believe you, but I think I think you're right. But the book says it was A neutral, B hot, C equipment ground, D black insulation is never used. The answer was C, and the U.S. standard is hot. Equals black wire, occasionally red, neutral, white wire, and safer equipment ground, green or bare wire. But that's what the book said. But I think you guys are right.
Oh, they're from the guys who wrote the new book. They got the wrong answer.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. If I think of it, I'll try to avoid reading that question next time. Okay, but I believe you guys.
Yeah, they should fix that question because it could be all the difference of somebody passing the test or not by one question. And if it's the wrong answer, just saying it's a 1 in a million, but you never know. Back to that.
I'll tell you what I probably should do. I probably should check the old book to see if that question reads right. I still have the old book. I haven't thrown it away yet.
I think I got some old books laying around there too. I don't know how I'd go about finding it, but they probably got them all mixed up.
Okay, sounds good. I'll tell you what. If I think about it, maybe next week I'll see if I can dig out the old book. I'll see if I can find that question and see what that says. So, I think you guys are right on that the question, and the book is wrong. So, okay. Okay, at this time. Are there any more stations who like checking the Friday Night Fun Net? You're coming home to your Friday night fish fry, steak fry, grocery shopping, or the show. If you just came home, turned your radio on, you've been copying the mail for the last hour and 20 minutes. This is your chance of checking the Friday Night Fun Net. Remember, when the region without traffic, please call K9RFD. Oh, 87 degrees in 1947. The record low was 23 degrees in 1937. 58 degrees. I got the news on Channel 39. I was given the record high and low temperatures for Rockford. I'll take that 87 degrees any day. Okay, I'm going to give you a rundown of all the other nets we have in the area. In about 40 minutes, if you are able to pick up the Chicago FM Club, 105.3 443.750. PL of 114.8 plus offset. The night watch net will be getting underway. That runs 7 nights a week. I was able to check into that net on Monday. Tuesday I was able to hear it. The last 2 nights they didn't come in hardly at all. That's conditions for you. But if you get a chance, if the conditions are favorable, do check out that night watch net. You'll like it. And don't forget, yes, tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. on this repeater, Saturday evening rag tune net with Larry, K9 and KZT as your net control. We go around about 2 or 3 times. Net control usually picks a topic. If you don't want to talk about that topic, you can bring up something else. But we go around 2 or 3 times. So that's what it's all about, rag tuning. And that's what we do every Saturday evening at 8 p.m. The Saturday night fun net is held every Saturday evening at 9 p.m. on the 146.910 repair in Milwaukee. Well, technically that repairs at New Berlin, Wisconsin. That has a PL of 127.3 minus offset. That's more structured than this net, than some of the topics they talk about. I wouldn't even dream of bringing up on this net. Greene County Aries Racing net meets every Sunday evening at 7:30 p.m. on the 145.110 repair in Monroe, PL of 123.0 minus offset. Scott, K9YI, he has not checked into his net so far tonight. He's net control of that net. It's a combination of Aries Races and Ragtune net. Okay, Big Thunder Amps Radio Club holds its Sunday evening net at 8 p.m. on the 147.375 repair in Belvedere. That has a PL of 100.0 minus offset. The Lee County Aries Races Group holds its Sunday evening net also at 8 p.m. on the 146.850 repair in Sterling. PL 114.8 plus offset. Minus offset, I should say. Should not have any problem getting into that repeater. The antenna is located 300 feet in the air in Illinois State Police District 1 radio tower. Monday evenings, here on this repeater at 7 p.m. We got the Monday evening rah-rah info net. Larry, K9 KZT, and I share the duties of net control. You ran the net this last Monday, and I'll run the net this coming Monday. At the end of the net, Larry K9 KCT has a Morse code practice. And at 8 p.m. on Monday evenings on the 146.970 repeater in Dixon, with a PL of 82.5 minus offset, the Lee County Aries Races Group holds its Monday evening net. The Kishwaukee Amps Radio Club holds this Monday evening net at 8:30 p.m. on the 146.730 repeater in DeKalb. PL 100.0 minus offset. Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. on the 147.195 repeater in Rockford, PL 114.8 plus offset. The first of the 2 health and tech nets is held. Larry, East 9 Geo, and Rockton is net control of the Tuesday evening net. We ask everybody how they're doing health-wise, if anybody has any technical questions. At the same time that net is going on, oh boy, there's a freeze warning in effect for Winnebago and Boone counties, Ogle County, Lee County. Stevenson County is not affected. Good. Okay. Let me okay. The Rock County Aries Races net meets every Tuesday evening also at 7 p.m. on the 145.450 repeater in Janesville with a PL of 123.0 minus offset. Speaking of repeaters in Janesville, I'm sorry to have to report that the 147.075 repeater in Janesville it's off the air. Whoever owns that repair decided that they're not gonna keep it on the air anymore. Hopefully somebody will come along. Maybe the Rock County Amateur Radio Club will take over that frequency. Maybe they can get that frequency and get that repeater back on the air. The Ogle County Amateur Radio Network Skywarn meets each Tuesday evening at 9 p.m. on the 147.165 repeater in Oregon. That has a PL of 146.2 plus offset. Okay, Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. here in Freeport on the 147.390 repeater, PL 114.8 plus offset. I host the weekly Stevenson County Aries Net. I had only 3 check-ins this past Wednesday night. The Greater Boyd Amateur Radio Club holds its Wednesday evening net at 7:30 p.m. on the 147.120 repeater in Boyd with a PL of 123.0 plus offset. And at 8 p.m. here in Freeport on the 147.390 repeater, PL 114.8 plus offset. We have the Wednesday evening swap that runs from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. until all traffic is handled. Mel, K9RFD, and I share the duties of net control. He ran the net this past Wednesday, and I'll run the net this next Wednesday. Mel brings us amateur radio news line, 15-minute independent news broadcast of the entire amateur radio. That net is held as broadcast on the Friday of the previous week, so today's net, you will listen to today's net next Wednesday evening on the 3.9 repeater. Then don't forget, Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. on the 147.195 repeater, we have the Northern Illinois Skywarn training net. I've been filling in for Ricky, WX9RLT. Last night he had to go to the doctor. The doctors wanted to see him. He had for an examination. Some that it happened to do with his accident he had a while back. So he was going to do the net. He had a topic planned, but some came up at the last minute. The doctor, so he asked me to do the net again. So that's what happens. Okay. Immediately following the health and the Northern Illinois Skywarn training net, we have the second health and tech net with yours truly at K9GCR. On HF, the C9 net is held on 1400 1500 hours Zulu or 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. local time on 14.387 megahertz, 20 meters upper sideband with Chuck, WD9BB as your net control station. Okay, you're all caught up today on our local nets. Support your local net control operators, your local nets, your local repeaters. You're a member of any ham radio club, by all means support your local club. Okay, at this time, do we have any more stations who want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please go on.
KC9GCR. K9FLO.
K9FLO. Hello, Dean. What's going on with you?
Good evening, Jimmy. Not much. Kind of a quiet, crummy night outdoors anyway. But made it down here, so almost forgot you. But, that's one of those senior moments. KC9GCR, K9FLO.
Oh, that's well. Don't worry about it. We usually don't get done till well past 10 o'clock anyway. Stuff happens. Hey, we're in keeping with the Oktoberfest theme. I'm asking you, last week, as you know, I was asking everybody what their favorite German food was. Now, tonight, I'm asking everybody what their favorite beer is. Budweiser, Schlitz, Pabst-Blue Ribbon, Miller, or what?
Good question. I'm not much of a beer drinker anymore, but I do like some of the new Mexican beers. Modelo, I like that one, and I like that the Dos Equis Light. That's kind of the ones I've tried, mainly because I like going to a couple of the local Mexican restaurants there, Jimmy. But otherwise, I'm not much of a beer drinker anymore. KC9GCR, K9RFD.
Okay, that sounds good. Most everybody was saying they like those foreign beers there too. You know, I'll tell you a true story. I don't know if you knew this or not, but let's see, Arch at W9GU. He's originally from this area. He lives in Kenosha. He comes through the area every 2 weeks. He was telling me, like, when he was in the Army, he was stationed in Germany. He used to go to a few bars, and he was telling me this: the Germans like their beer warm, whereas Americans like their beer cold. Germans like their beer warm.
Well, you know, that's true. I have relatives over in Ireland and England, and another part down in the boot area, and that's true. Most of the Europeans have their beer warm. We're the ones that like it cold. I'm not sure why. Maybe that's because we never do it any different, but that's very true. The Europeans like their beer, and I think that's a carryover from the old days. They didn't have refrigeration, and that's my guess. Best guess on it there, Jimmy.
Okay, sounds good. I believe you. Well, I'll tell you what. Well, whether you drink beer or not, and I don't, but I'll tell you what. On a hot summer day, you definitely want a cold drink. You definitely don't want a warm one. That's for sure. Whether it's beer or not.
And that's true. But yeah, beer always tastes good. You know, I used to go out and mow the yard, get done with that, and that was a great time. That was a great excuse to have a beer. How's that?
Oh yeah, definitely true. That is very true. Yes.
So have you heard my neighbor on here, Jimmy, Kurt?
No, I have not heard him on there tonight. And that's right. Tonight is the Zoom meeting. I think they're the monthly rah-rah meeting. I think they're having it on Google or something like that. I just happened to think about that, so that's why he's not been on tonight.
Well, that's not an excuse to miss your net. He should be showing up here any time. I'm not very good. I understand, been there, done that, and do that. So ours is always on a Monday night. But I don't remember. I guess, yeah, always been Friday. Kind of an unusual night for meeting night, but go back from years ago, I kind of remember that. So otherwise, not much happening here. Just enjoying the kind of crummy weather. We were going to go down to Rockford for dinner, but decided if we don't have to go down there, we're not. We'll have dinner here. So that was our big excitement for the night there, Jimmy.
I hear you. I hear you. Nothing much going on, and hey, I just gave out the news a few minutes ago. You probably know that the Janesville 147075 repeater is off the air. Whoever the trustee was, they decided to take that repeater off there. I said that's too bad when you lose a repeater there like that.
I'll be darned. No, I hadn't heard that. I'll have to check into that and see what happened. I'm not sure who had that one, but that's a little bit of a surprise.
Well, I first heard about it on the Tuesday night, on the Tuesday evening Rock County Aries Races net.
I'll be darned. Yeah, well, we got, the 145 4-5 repeater, and we got the 147 1-2, and I think I'm missing one here. So that's the two active ones, and then we got used to have boy, now I can't think of it here, but yep. Well, the VHF's changing there, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's for sure. It is. I was saying maybe your club should see about getting that frequency, getting for a 147075, and keeping get a repair and keep that on the air. Yeah. Well, this we're talking to you. I'm talking to you on a system fusion of repeaters. It's for you can talk on analog, and we're doing now. You can also talk on digital. But I'll tell you what, around here, digital is not only about 5 years ago. I think that was a common thing there. But I think it's kindly out. That was probably just a fad, and it's probably it was just a passing fad, and hardly anybody uses digital anymore. Once in a great while, but that's about it. We have a system fusion repeater here in Freeport, 147390, but that digital side is never used.
Yeah, you're right about that. And it's too bad. I know we had the one going on the Clinton repeater, and we'd at its peak we'd get maybe 5 to 8 check-ins. That's going back a few years ago when the fusion was popular, but we finally gave it up last year because nobody was checking in. Usually it was Greg and myself checking in, and one of the guys over in Monroe area. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it's one of those things you hate to not use it, because there's a FCC out there that love to take it from us, but that's a mode, not a frequency. So yeah, that's too bad. I really hate to see that change. I like to see, regardless of what club or whatever, but let's use that fusion technology. Nothing wrong with it. And if we use it, the manufacturer's going to listen to us and maybe come out with something better. I mean, that's what it took in the past, but now things are changing. A lot of the people are using that FT8 for an HF, and so that essentially, well, why would I want to do a CW when I can do FT8? And on the other hand, I think we have been getting new members coming in, first-time members. So that's good, but we don't want to turn the world into appliance operators either, because it's part of ham radios, being able to be constructive, create, develop, whatever. And if we lose that skill set, then that changes it quite a bit. Then it's going to be back to what old CB radio was. KC9GCR, K9FO.
Oh God, we don't want to see that happen. That's for sure. I was a CB operator many years ago, back in the mid to late 70s. I believe we got back in the mid 80s, but that was about it. No, this hobby of amateur radio was definitely a lot better. I enjoyed my CB friends. Which, of course, some of them have since become ham radio operators. But then, yeah. We don't want to go back those days again. This is definitely 100,000 times much better than the CB.
Oh, very true.
And, you know, it's, of course, we hope that our is much more professional, and but we got to watch it. You know, it all comes down to that old thing: is if we don't use it, we'll lose it, because there's a lot of cell phone companies out there that want the frequencies, and including broadcast and everything else, and that's been going on for years and years and years. There's always somebody out there that'd love to have this frequency, but let's not lose it. And the key word is use it or we lose it. So that's my word of knowledge for the night there, Jimmy. Go ahead.
Dean, stand by. Just a minute, I'm talking to somebody on the radio here. Stand by, Dean. I got somebody called on the hotline. I'll get right back to you. K9GCR. Okay, that was Scott, K9UQL. He told me he used to live right next door to you. He's been listening to that. He told me to tell you to have another beer.
Told me to have another what, Jimmy?
Beer.
Oh, that's my old buddy. That was my Miller Lite professional there. You still got him on the phone?
So we hung up there. So okay.
Very good. Good that old Scotter called in. Yeah, good neighbor. We had some really good times together. And yeah, that's one thing. Scott used to check into the DET there on the Clinton repeater, when it was a fusion, when we had a weekly fusion net, and that was nice. He could get into that no problem, a lot better than he could on the FM. So kind of miss having that. We're still looking into starting that going again. Haven't talked to Greg in a couple weeks, so I'll get a hold of him and see if we can get that fired up. I can send out emails to everybody in the world as, hey, let's try that repeater. That's a good repeater. It's got a good coverage on it. It sits up on a hill up there on Highway 43. And tell you what, Scott can get it into it over there in Monticello, that area over there on the western part of the state. So it works pretty good. So, yeah, very good. Well, I'm glad he called in. I guess he's checking up on me there, Jimmy. Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess he is. Hey, that's great that he's listening to he tried to check in on the radio, but I couldn't, but he wasn't able to get through, so he called the Friday Night Fun Net hotline. So that's good. He's listening to us right now.
Well, he's got to get that antenna raised up maybe another 20, 30 feet, and he probably can get into it. This repeater, I think the 6.1 machine does pretty good out heading west, but he's get that up there and get a fire up, maybe put in, I used to have an amp he could have used too. Son of a gun, I sold that at the Ham Fest. Anyway, very good. Good news. I'm glad he called in and talked to you there, Jimmy. And that's about the excitement from here. It's Friday night again. The weather's changing. Get a little cooler out. I've got to do some antenna work coming up in the next week. But I just watched the weather forecast. It looks like it should be kind of a crummy week for antenna work, Jimmy. I need a couple days of nice weather so I can figure out what's going on, but that's my excitement. KC9GCR, K9FLO.
Okay, so that sounds good. Okay, Dean, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you for checking in. I'm gonna see if by chance maybe Kurt KD9N might be listening. If he is, I'll talk to him. You guys can go back to each other there. So, Dean, thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, Jimmy. You too. Take care. 7-3s. And next week it'll even be better yet. It'll be more fallish. KC9GCR, K9FLO be cleared monitoring.
Sounds good, Dean. 7-3. Thanks for checking in. Okay. Any more stations who want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net this time, please go on. Okay, I guess the Kurt must be he'll be having his meeting, or there might be something else going on. So, okay, I'm trying. Oh, we covered it. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention. Larry K9KGT does his Morse code practice at the end of the Monday night Rabbi InfoNet, and at the end of the Tuesday and Thursday Health and Tech Nets. So you're interested in Morse code, by all means do check out those 3 CW practice sessions. I was watching the 60 Minutes this past Sunday. They had a piece on what would happen if China would invade Taiwan. They're showing these civil defense classes, and what they're doing. They're showing people how to communicate in Morse code in case the internet goes out, in case if China does in fact invade Taiwan. So that's what's going on. CW is not dead by any stretch of the imagination.
96K.
Go ahead there. Go ahead, Bob.
Sitting here half awake, half asleep, Jimmy, and I heard you and the other gentleman talking, and you brought up your old CB days. You know, we go back to those old CB days, Jimmy, from the middle 70s. It's kind of a complete circle there, you know. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, you know, I remember you lived in Rideout, going by Rideout Tomcat, always yelling at Russ Jansen, and in fact, he would call you when he fixed your radio. Want to know how it sounded, because you lived about, 5 hours from him, whatever, or even that. Yeah, I remember those days, and I agree with the other guy, you know, if you don't use it, it's all going to be lost sometime, you know, and I'm kind of guilty of that, too, there. I get in other things, and I don't get on here for months at a time, but we're here and there, you know, but I just want to throw that comment in, because, you know, we go back, like I said, to the middle 70s, you know, and you know that. We spent a lot of hours sometimes at night during the years after everybody's sleeping. We're talking on the 3.9 machine. You know, we just did it last night. So, all right, Jimmy, I want to get out of here. I got to go pick the wife up and take her to her other job. So, I just want to throw that comment in.
Thank you very much, Bob, and I recall those days with fondness. The late Russ Jensen, N9TKT. But that was sure sad when he lost his life in that gyrocopter crash. He was a great guy. There were no ifs, ands, or buts about them. If I were got in the ham radio back then, he probably would have been my Elmer. Of course, I would have had to learn the CW and all that stuff there too. But oh well, hey, I probably would have had to go into Chicago and take the test. Yeah. Bob, hey, thanks for checking in, and thank you for your comments. You have a good evening. We'll probably be wrapping up this net shortly anyway. So thanks for checking in. 7-3.
Jimmy, I do it when I get an opportunity to do it. You know that. KC9GCR 96K. We're Gonna be pulling the plug. Gotta go pick the wife up later on.
Talk to you later, 7-3. K9 GCR Repeater. Good night, Bob. Thanks for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. Any more stations want to check into this time? Please call now. Okay, what I'm going to be doing now, earlier during the night I read the DX Code of Conduct and the Contester's Code of Ethics. Now I'm going to read the Amateur's Code. 1. The amateur is considerate. He never knowingly uses the air in such a way as to lessen the pleasure of others. 2. The amateur is loyal. He offers his loyalty, encouragement, and support to his fellow radio amateurs, his local club, and to the American Radio Relay League through which amateur radio is represented. 3. The amateur is progressive. He keeps his station abreast of science. Is well-built and efficient. His operating practice is above reproach. 4. The amateur is friendly. Slow and patient sending when requested. Friendly advice and counsel to the beginner. Kindly assistance, cooperation, and consideration for the interests of others. These are marks of the amateur spirit. 5. The amateur is balanced. Radio is his hobby. He never allows it to interfere with any of his duties he holds in his home, his job, his school, or his community. 6. The amateur is patriotic. His knowledge and his station are always ready for the service of his country and his community. That's the amateur's code. As Tony K9RFD used to say, something to live by not only on the radio but throughout life itself. Okay, at this time, are there any more stations who would like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please go now. Okay, I would like to thank the members of the RAH Board of Trustees, Board of Directors, and especially Kirk, KD9MED, RAH President, for allowing me to use this repeater to host the Friday Night Fun Net. I'm going to run down the list of stations who've checked in so far. All check-ins during the net. N9ZXK, Bob, my first check-in. And see, AE9VU, Mike in Janesville, NIGBP, Greg in Rockford, H9NW, K9NEX, floating down Stillman Valley, K9KCT, went out to dinner. I'll talk to him tomorrow night on the Ragtune net. K9HKX, Lauren in Roscoe, K9SSV, Mike in the Loves Park, K9MED. Mike in Rochelle, who is live streaming this net on the internet around the world. He's also recording this net for future replay on the Friday Night Fun Net Central Facebook page. KF9SD, Pat, my one and only internet check-in. Well, he actually checked in with Mike, and Mike relayed his Pat's check-in to me. K9MAP, Carrie and Rockford, the Duke of Digital DX. K9FKC, Toby in Rockford, K9RGG, Norman Orfordville, K9AGR, Jennifer, and I believe she's in Janesville. Let me reset. N9CNW, Mark and in Rockford, myself, K9GCR, Net Control. K9CFL, Mike and Rockton, K9DGF, John and Elgin, K9FLO, Dean and Roscoe, and last but certainly not least, Scott, K9UQL, who in Monticello, Wisconsin, checked on the Friday Night Fun Net hotline. He was listening to the net, but he couldn't check in, so he called me on the phone. We got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 stations have checked in so far. No early check-ins, and that's about it. Are there any more stations who'd like to check the Friday Night Fun Net this time? Please go on now.
KC9GCR. Here is KC9YI.
KC9YI, Scott Monroe. What's going on with you, Scott?
Oh, just having a little supper here, and everybody decided to go home now, so we're just getting ready for bed.
Okay, sounds good. Now, as you know, last week during this net, we were talking about what was your favorite German food. And tonight I'm asking everybody, in keeping with the Oktoberfest theme, I'm asking everybody what their favorite beer is. Or like either the local breweries, or like the Pabst, Blue Ribbon, Budweiser, Ham Schlitz, or Falstaff, or what have you.
Boy, you got a whole bunch of them there, don't you? I have to think back to what it used to be, because I really don't dare drink much beer anymore. My stomach is kind of wrecked. So used to drink Huber's, but Huber's no more there. So I don't know. I don't know if Huber's is an option anymore or not, but just don't drink it anymore.
Yeah, I heard on the news. I think somebody tried to buy out that New Glarus brewery. I think a local judge said no, they cannot not do that for an obvious reason.
Well, it had to do with I guess some stock was sold or something, and the people that sold it didn't feel it was the right value or something, but it was thrown out of court. So I don't think anything has really changed there.
Yeah, I think they should. You like to keep those local breweries going. That's for sure. You know, maybe about 100 years ago, we used to have quite a few breweries here in Freeport. I don't know how many breweries we had, but there was talk about back at the towards the end of the 19th century that said that I read it in a reprint of Illustrated Freeport 1896. They show a lot of old pictures of the old landmarks back then, the old Stevenson County Courthouse, the old pictures of the breweries, and then the piece they read had there said, Freeport will soon rival Milwaukee as like the beer capital of America or the world.
Oh, really? I didn't know you guys had. I remember you talk about pretzels down there, but I didn't know you had brewery. The brewery here in Monroe is one of the longest continual in operation breweries. Of course, it's changed hands a number of times. There's a Canadian company that owns it now, but they never shut down since I think 1848. So even during Prohibition, the brewery brewed near beer, but and of course they always were known for their root beer, and so they're like I think like the second oldest brewery in the country.
Oh, okay, sounds good. I know that Huber Brewery's been around a long time. That's for sure. But it's always nice to see these local breweries. Well, now, like in Rockford and several places around. I think over by Lena, they just recently got a little breweries going there. So they'll manufacture their local beers and what have you. I think that's good.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever been over to Potosi to the brew museum there. That is really quite interesting. I haven't gone through it here just lately, but I did go through it a couple of years ago, and it was very, very interesting. But before Huber's, I think it was Bloomer's. I think that was the first name, and they still have the trademark Bloomer's root beer. But So anyway, they've brewed beer here in Monroe. They've remodeled the factory a number of times and have had, in fact, they even had a fire a couple of years ago, or a few years ago, when they were doing some renovation, but they were able to get it out before it took off. Too bad, but they had damage, and it took them a while to. I remember that day. I think I was working in the lab, and I had the window open. I was wondering what the devil that smoky smell was. So, anyway, so they've had a few close calls, but they're very much in operation there. In fact, they've added a fancy restaurant, and they have a hard liquor distillery now. So they're quite modernized and seem to be pretty active in their production.
Yeah, well, that's great. That sounds good there, Scott. Okay. Very interesting. Hey, okay. Hey, thanks very much for checking in. I better let you go so you can hit the sack. You have a good night. Thank you for checking in, and we'll talk to you on the sunny night net there. K9G Sharp Record. Thanks for checking in.
73, Jim. Have a good evening. This is KC9YI Clear.
K9GCR record. This is KC9GCR with the Friday Night Fun Net on the W9AXD Repeater in Rockford, transmitting for Friday Night Fun Net Central and Freeport. It is now 10 p.m. curfew time. Parents, you know where your children are at. Lockdown, lockdown. Winnebago County Jail is now going on lockdown. I remember Kerry, K9MED, was telling me he listens to the jail frequencies, and they say right at 10 o'clock, right at this time. They dispatches radio to all the correctional officers. Lockdown. At this time, all the jailbirds are being put to bed. Okay, at this time, any more stations want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please go on. Okay, I want to tell you about the Friday Night Fun Net's Central Facebook page. If you want to sign up for it, contact Ricky WX9RLT or Brad, Brad Smith, whatever it's called now. He's gone through so many call signs, it's pathetic. So, he and I started Friday Night Fun Net back in 2008. But you see pertinent information about the Friday Night Fun Net, update picture of my ham shack. And by the way, this net is being recorded for future replay on the Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page. You can listen to the Friday Night Fun Net all day, every day. Listen to the Friday Night Fun Net all night, every night. Every night is Friday night when you listen to the Friday Night Fun Net. So that's about it. And so okay. Let me tell you about the Friday Night Fun Net Central Hotline. Area code 815-232-FN, 232-3636. Local Freeport number, Scott KC9UQL called the hotline. He was able to hear them but not able to check in, so he called the hotline. So his call is written down in big red letters. You see the Friday Night Fun Net Central Hotline. You've seen the pictures of it on the Facebook page. It's a traditional red desktop touchtone telephone. When it rings, well, I was listening to Dean, K9FLO at the time, but when the phone rang, it's a real telephone ring, folks, not that phony baloney cell phone ring. Okay. At this time, any more stations want to check in? Please call now. Okay, at this time, I'm going to do my honorary check-ins. N9ARB, Tony, REC here in Stevenson County. HC, honorary check-in. It's better to have Tracy, N9TAB, HC, honorary check-in. So, and we mustn't forget the beautiful Kishwaukee River Yacht Club, south of Robert, Scott. A9, Silver Fox. I talked to him, I let him know about Blue Sugar passing away. He sounded good, so he's doing okay. Okay, and Justin, K9FEO, HC honorary check-in, and one of the best guys in the whole world. He doesn't check in often, but he listens every Friday night. Richard, N9ZO, Richard in Belvedere. We checked in last week when we did the tribute to Jim Howe, KB9SX. Let's see. Okay, let's see. W9KLG. Kevin, HC honorary check-in. WX9RLT. Ricky. Hopefully everything went well with the doctor's office yesterday, and let's see, all right? EC9JZ. Mike, HC honorary check-in. KD9LOA. Brandon, HC honorary check-in. KD9OVJ. John, our Vice President in McConnell, HC honorary check-in, and last but certainly not least, I gotta check him in. Kirk, KD9N, the Raw President, total 32 check-ins overall. Any more stations want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call on. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or additional or traffic or any input you'd like to bring before the net? Well, folks, I think that's going to do it. I want to thank everybody for checking in. Great topic tonight. What is your favorite beer? Oh, yeah. What do you have past Blue Ribbon? What do you have past Blue Ribbon? What do you have past Blue Ribbon? The past Blue Ribbon beer. Remember that? I remember that old commercial. Okay. I want to thank everybody for checking in. And, okay, be sure you tell your mothers, your fathers, your sons and daughters, your brothers and sisters, your aunts and uncles, your nieces, your nephews, your grandparents, your in-laws, your neighbors across the street, down the street, next door. Be sure you tell your butcher, your baker, your candlestick maker. Be sure you tell the clerk behind the checkout counter at your grocery store. Be sure to tell the clerk behind the counter at your convenience store. Be sure to tell the clerk behind the counter at your post office when you buy your stamps or envelopes. Be sure you tell your bank cashier, your bank teller. Be sure you tell your local waiters, your waitresses, and your bartenders at friendly neighborhood bars, restaurants, taverns, or pubs. Be sure you tell your new car dealer, your used car dealer, your garage mechanic. Be sure to tell the members of your local PTA or PTO. Be sure to tell your priests, your ministers, your rabbis, your mullahs, your ayatollahs, or your imams. Be sure you tell okay, be sure you tell your divorce lawyer, your probation officer, your parole officer. Be sure you tell your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your ex-boyfriends, your ex-girlfriends, your husbands, your wives, your ex-husbands, your ex-wives, your ex-in-laws, of course, your old ladies about Friday Night Fun. The more check-ins, the better than that. Make sure you have a valid FCC license before you check in. Sorry, folks, we do not take check-ins from jailbirds, jammers, potty mouths, crackheads, dopeheads, potheads, telemarketers, If you take a knee or you clench your fist when the national anthem is being played, we don't take your chickens. If you don't back the bull, we don't take your chickens. That's all there is to it. Okay, with that, I believe that's going to do it for this coming Friday night. So as with that, this is the last call for any stations who want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net from anywhere in the region with route traffic. Please call K9GCR. Last call for Ratchet Jaw. Okay, tune in again next week, same time, same repeater for another edition of Friday Night Fun Net. Until then, this is Jim, K9GCR. Now closing down this Friday, October 14, 2022 edition of Friday Night Fun Net, and return the repeater to frequency of normal amp radio use at 10:13 p.m. Central Daylight Time, 3 hours, 13 minutes Zulu time, with a total of 32 check-ins overall. And 7-3s, everybody. Have a good evening. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you down the line. This is K9GCR. Wish you all a very pleasant good night. KD9MED, KD9MED, K9GCR.
KD9.
Go ahead and post it, Mike. 2 hour, 13 minute net, and so far, unofficial, the count stands at 32 check-ins.
Alright, copy that. The posted here. MED.
You're welcome, Mike 73. Thanks for all you do. This is K9GCR. We'll be quiet.